Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am NightFox15. This is Alan Wake, Chapter 2. You might notice something different. Oh, my beard's gone, and my hair's gone. Feels weird touching my face. It's all smooth and stiff. But it's No Shave November. So I figured I'd just shave everything off, and then I don't have to cut anything off, and then I can do No Shave November. Yeah. That way it doesn't get too wild by the end of November if I had kept it the way I did. Alright, so we're continuing with Chapter 2 here. Chapter 1 summary. I didn't actually get to do a first impressions discussion. I did write it in the description of my YouTube upload, NightFox15. But I did not get to do it on the actual narrative at the end. So we'll kind of just tag it onto this one. I'll probably make a series out of it on YouTube for all the chapters. So, as far as first impressions go, the graphics seem pretty well even though it's a 2012 game. The thrill is there. There are moments that made me jump. The story is definitely intriguing. I am curious as to what's going on. I don't know which part's a dream and which part is not. Some of the narrative is really good. Other parts seemed forced. There were certain like back and forth between the actors that it just did not. It all missed. So I feel like that could have just been taken out or rewritten. The lips don't always line up with what they're saying, which is even more frustrating, especially if it's like a deep, intense scene that you're supposed to be paying attention to. The action's straightforward. I kind of paralleled it to Resident Evil. Gun, aim, shoot, aim for the head. Weaken him with a flashlight. Pretty straightforward, but I am looking forward more to the story really than anything. What part's real, what part's fake. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into Chapter 2 here.
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
We have 2 kitchens?
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
New flat screen TV. Ooh. So that's where the TV would go. Lots of books. More books. Oh, thermos.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Ooh. Smack it up. Can't access my own house. That must have been a closet.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body.
Oop.
The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Alright, we're
It's
gonna
true
sudden
what they
stop.
say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city.
Becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Oh my god, this lady. There's a fuse box in here. None of these look like a fuse box.
I really don't like this, Alan. Please hurry.
Alright, it's barely dark, lady. Oh, it's our bedroom. Bed's kind of low, I don't like it.
Alan, I really need those lights on.
Alright, yeah. I don't know where the fuse box is, woman. I know this is my house. Really? By the front door? That's so stupid.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know.
Candles
it's
set
stupid,
fires.
But it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
She needs that clicker 3 years from now when she disappears. Why are we the only place with a balcony? Could someone explain that? Bright Falls. The present day. Not
How do you
present
feel,
day,
Mr.
the
Wake?
present day.
Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Kind of looks like the radio host guy.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's
a big
very
fish.
good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Doesn't look like there's anything here of noteworthiness. We're allowed to run again, boys. Read.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems
Richard, Bob, Bruce, Dansky, Jacob on a campaign trip over. Do you have a been? Oh, camping trip. Haven't been cooked. If you see them, know their whereabouts. Please call
I'll be
that
sure
number.
to
Thank
take care
you.
of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now. Very good.
I feel like those are the bad guys. that
Come
are
in,
fun.
Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd locked me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
That did not sound like his wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with
Watching
anything?
you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here.
Oh, no
I'm
such
at
luck.
Stucky's
He
gas
went on a
station
bender
with
and
Thornton.
beat Danny pretty
There's no sign of
badly.
him.
He started shouting like that
Wait,
the moment he
Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsal today. Over. Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over. Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Alright, so that's all. Manuscript page. You can see.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Give me some light!
That guy's loud and annoying.
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the light? The light's on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Me. I need. Hey! Hey,
yeah, I got it. You want to
Can
light
you
up?
help me? Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something.
Okay, that clearly is not part of the story.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
There's a manuscript page on the ground. And a thermos and radio over here, so we're clearly going to get some good news.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party. And
oh my goodness, there's a lot of pages in this chapter.
the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? No point in getting all worked up yet.
Kind of reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto graphics a little bit. Yeah, I got it, Alan. I'm gonna go this way. Calm down. Dang, son. Some strong kicks. Alright, what we got?
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall and the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Guess we're gonna go back into the sheriff's office. Looks like Trunky passed out.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
But that TV had something to do with the story. Just okay.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh! Hey! Oh, my!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Dude's creepy as fuck.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry,
Rose.
you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
He likes Rose.
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody.
I come here to rent a cabin.
This is not her fault.
Where I could wait till midnight.
She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you.
That's creepy. Is that a dinosaur? It's a mammoth. The skeleton of Columbian mammoth, Mammothus columbi. This specimen is estimated to be 14,000 years old, was recovered from the La Bratire pits in 1981. It was donated to the Elderwood National Park in 98. The Columbian mammoth became Washington state fossil named Buck-toothed Charlie. It has since become the park's official mascot. Okay. Why is he doesn't look like he's got buck teeth, though. Ooh, hats. I'm guessing these are souvenirs.
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do
and
you
everything's just...
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that?
Yeah, sounds crazy. I'm fully
Don't get me
aware
wrong.
of it.
It's a good story. Could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Looking for manuscript.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Buck-toothed Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Hell, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky.
I wonder if that's the
Max
dog
is still
from the
groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone.
Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Sweet.
You're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out? It's working. Ha ha! Let's have a laugh on Barry.
Oh, that's not my cabin. That's not my
Look,
cabin.
Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air.
Which one's my cabin?
Al, you make cruel jokes about people who...
We're rushing a little of the narrative just because.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry.
Hopefully you guys don't
I'm
hear all
going to
the
Lover's
construction.
Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then.
Why did he wait till nighttime to go?
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Hopefully Barry doesn't get sick. I don't like that dust.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
We're looking for pages of our manuscript and then a thermos, which is clearly over here. I don't know what the point of collecting these thermoses is. Originally I thought it increased my health, but it doesn't seem to do that at all. So I actually have no freaking clue what the collectibles are for. Coffee thermoses, 17 of 100. Canned pyramids knocked over, 1 of 12. Ah, see? I knew there was something about those. No, lights will stay on. I knew there was something about those pyramids. Alright, what's over here? The thermos. Okay. Creepy well, of course. Doesn't look like there's anything in it though. It's closed. Again, why did we decide to go out at nighttime? Can someone please enlighten me on that part? Why couldn't we go during the daytime? You know, when the monsters
Wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort.
are
I'll
not
be with
present.
your spirit every step of the way, Al. Walk through the door now.
Barry
Barry
doubts
had never
Wake's
gotten
sanity.
along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality.
Scared the shit out of Barry. Can we take Al's Jeep?
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. It wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Says you. You can run over those ghost dudes.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
I don't even know which parts I should explore and which parts I shouldn't. I'm just wasting my time exploring. I like how we magically got our gun.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I
Uh-oh.
ever seem to manage.
Did you see that? I did.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Ben. But I'm going to check out the political. And one of the fine judges, too.
I saw him walk by on this side. That crapped the crap out of
My
me.
kind of exercise. Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're not efficient.
Scared the crap out of me. We're gonna go here. The heck was that? Did that house just disappear? Oh no, it's still there. Always check around. Alright, we can't get in here. Why would you park like that, though? Lover's Peak, Nature Trail. What's over here? Look at that windows. Those windows are broken. All the windows are broken.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Man in the Mirror.
Oh shit, that's blood.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh?
Don't call those weapons unless you're trained.
Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match.
Alright, hold on. I'm cold. I need to get another blanket. I'm back. Alright, so far, chapter 2 is kind of straightforward. It does look really long, though.
Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Man in the mirror. Man in the mirror. Alright, so my guess is that guy, creepy as fuck. Manuscript page. Car crash. Totally unbothered by this. It's like, oh, let's,
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
I think I'm gonna bump the sensitivity down again. Another manuscript page. In the gazebo.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was.
I'm telling you, Rose is the culprit. She wants my wife's spot, so she wants to replace my wife with herself. I'm calling it. It's the story. Let me know if you disagree. Visitor center.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury. Rusty, damn.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me!
Everything shaking is new.
Anybody? Help me! Help me! Can you hear me?
Your voice is outstanding. Always check your surroundings, boys. Always.
The ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in.
Creepy shit's going on.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here. Hey, please help me. I'm here. I'm hurt. I can't move. Mr. Wake? Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Rusty just died. Literally in front of you.
Whoever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy.
Can I help the good boy? We're just gonna leave the good boy there? There's a med kit, and we're not gonna use it, really. I'm bothered by this. We need to free the doggo.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Oh.
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way.
Ugh.
Felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Alright, for the record, Rusty is the name of a dog, so this whole time we were talking about Rusty, I thought we were talking about the dang dog. Another manuscript page.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond.
I was safe at the end. Bullets. And batteries.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on. Rusty! Rusty!
It's the storm.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Interesting.
Just need hunting licenses.
I feel like if they run into those, maybe they recover their power, their darkness, if you will.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Damn, son. Oh, dog's gone. Where's the...
Please don't feed the animals. Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park fishing license. Obey the park ranger's instructions at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never approach closer than 100 yards. To bears and wolves, never approach any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. Pets must be leashed at all times. Never leave your pet unattended. It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park. This includes even rocks. You may even simple berries.
Booyah! Oh, that's how I should have known it was a boss fight. The catch here. That actually was easier than the first one. That being said, we're super low on batteries. I really could use some batteries. definitely no thermoses. So recover health. Oh, of course.
What? What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Al, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Part of me wants to know if I can go over there. Main script page. No, that's not F5, not 5.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Another overlook? Excuse me. Reach Lovel's Peak. Oh, batteries. 3? It's barely enough for anything. What we need are those flashlights that you just shake and they gain energy. That way you never have to worry about batteries.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Yeah, but he's... Secrets. Get a shotty. And a flare gun. Looks like just a shotty and some batteries. Better than nothing. So those are the chests that are part of the achievement then. Alright, here we go again. Oh, of course. Now we're gonna die because my phone was ringing. I got distracted. This is not how you want to work it. Oh, batteries. Perfect. Phone's off the hook. Who's that? Is that my mom? Alright. We need at least a checkpoint, boys. Is that checkpoint? That's checkpoint. Alright, I can check my phone. Ah! Missed call. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so hopefully we can get back to this. Do apologize. We're going up here. There's a light. Another shotty. Some shotty ammo. Even though I personally do not like the shotgun. It's complete garbage. Alright, hold on again. Phone's blown up. I hate to do this. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's try this. battery on the flashlight is down here. Killed by lighting incendiation, Rocky Mount Douglas Sarah prison in the Gallants was over 200 years old. According to the local legend, the stretched beyond the stars after the fell. It was measured to be 66 meters tall, nearly a record length. This is bullshit. Tried other moves, but just fucking. It's bullshit! Signs around Bright Falls tell you about local history and culture. I'm hitting fucking shit! Take a shortcut. Why would they give me a freaking revolver? I have 4 freaking shots left. And like 3 other dudes to fight. This is ridiculous. Need freaking ammo.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason, packed with supplies. batteries, flares, ammo.
Things you need to make through the
Make it
darkness
through
of
the
the
darkness
night.
of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew.
Something and more. That phone's useless. I feel like I could have taken the truck here. Bear alert. Great. This better not be a boss fight. It's just a bunch of dudes. What happens when you run out of bullets? Just die? That's annoying. Three dudes. Trapped in a corner, so yeah, that totally didn't work. That was bad. Couldn't we get some bears to maul these fight freaking dudes? Alright, I have 16 shots. It was literally the dumbest thing ever. I do not have enough ammo for this section. So you know what that means. Plan B. We run. We'll try that again, one more time. I need suggestions here because this is ridiculous. There's a stupid bug flying around too. Yes, I see you. YOLO. Screw those guys. Short on ammo. Wait a minute. Probably should have. All for a thermos. Yeah, I don't know if I want that thermos. Alright, is the thermos worth it? This is bullshit. We're done. We're not messing with those dudes anymore.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the Dark Presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Darkness. There's a lot still left in this chapter. I thought this game was like 10 minutes long. And by 10 minutes, I mean like 10 hours. Oh, it's the walking distance away that overpass. Oh, fucking shit. I really don't have ammo though, so this is kind of just going to be like a run past all bad stuff, hope for the best. Great shadow monsters. I don't like that they throw shit.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming.
What the fuck is that?
That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
Yeah, well,
You can see them too? Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived.
Oh, that's the hunter
he knew
dude.
my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, Wake! You better keep up.
Damn it!
Bro, your aim blows.
Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it. Just a little longer. Scare them off. Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us. Just a little longer. I almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it.
Scare shit.
That's right. Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe.
Hopefully there was no pages or thermoses over there, because you kind of just bolted
Better
through
get
that
ready.
whole section.
They'll be on us soon.
Thermos. Still don't know what the thermoses do.
This is it, Wake. The last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake. That's right. He comes.
Boss fight.
Piece of cake, Wake.
Guess who's out of flares? I don't have a fucking gun.
Players here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Alright, alright.
That's what I got for you. Monster! Stop fighting me! Piece of cake, Wake.
Says you.
That's right. Just keep coming. Die already, die! Stop moving!
Holy shit.
Let's
That was
cut
close.
the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her and I'll...
Oh, of course. Tables have turned.
Give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry.
No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
Alright, so now we have flares. 2. a gun. Do we still have shoddy? No, no shoddy.
On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, things changed when they were wrapped in darkness. They turned into something else, something foreign, and nothing was safe or innocent anymore. I'd never really understood what she meant, until now.
All right. Let's see. There's a loud log. Over there. So the poachers are using bear traps. Need to go in that direction. So that's another bear trap. Alright, we're gonna go this way. The opposite of where we need to go. Kind of big and open. Not sure what we'll find. Except more bear traps. Why would you put bear traps on the road? Bear trap. Guessing bear traps. Oh gosh, I was almost stepped in one. There's a fight out here. We are screwed. My normal go-to is running. Hard to run when the place is covered in bear traps. Please. Oop. I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. Here we go. Go this way. Ah, shoot. That was a misclick. Oh, there go our only 2 flares. That's a cabin? Could be wrong. Definitely need some freaking ammo. We will not make it long.
The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. But I was finally out of the woods, and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw.
Oh, fuck. Chainsaw? Are you shitting me?
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a writer to catch, at any cost.
Ooh, a writer to catch. Basically anything he writes comes to fruition. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more freaking pages to grab. That's a long chapter. Hoping for a quickie chapter.
I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here. It was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
It's that weird dark residue stuff. Still not sure what it does or what it's for. has an arrow that's pointed in that direction. Showing up here though. Did we seriously get stuck? What are the odds of that? Shoddy. Oh wait, that's not a shotgun, that's a hunting rifle.
I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen down, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
I don't know if this dark stuff is ink. My guess is this dark stuff is ink. Oh, okay. Figured we'd have to climb the wing. La 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 la. Not sure if we were supposed to stay in there or not, but we're supposed to go in this direction. So. You would think there'd be some queue up here. Oh shit. Oh, we're just chilling right now to recover some of our health, because that fall kind of hurt us. And I have a feeling that as soon as we jump down, there'll be a big old fight scene. So let's reload you. BS! I call BS! I told you though, as soon as we jumped down, it was a big old fight scene. Dang it. How you do it, boys? Suckers. Part of me wonders if they'll still be here. Oh shit. But yes, I dodged that. So my wife's phobia of darkness is what essentially caused me to write this book about the darkness being evil. guess I really didn't have to fight those guys, but eh. Climbing. Only have 8 shots, so gotta make them count. Look, we have more shots now. I'm telling you, that black stuff is definitely ink. Come to the conclusion the black stuff is ink. Barry and
Barry saw the
Elderwood.
darkness attacked the visitor center. It made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed, like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified.
Flares. So here's the problem: is I don't know which is the proper direction to be going in. All right, never mind. Clearly, the other way was definitely the proper direction to be going in. What about this ladder? Something's on the roof. I'm gonna go back down because I want to go try out that balcony. Just in case there's a collectible right out here. And there is. Look at that.
The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around.
Nothing too fancy on that. I feel like there's going to be a boss fight soon. But usually there's a big ol' thing that I can pick supplies out of before the boss fight. Or in the boss fight site. And right now there's nothing. The darkness lures her down. That was a bigger guy. They hit harder. Got some hunting rifle ammo. That's it. The darkness wears her face. I don't like that saying. That's creepy. I guess that's one way to fault the guys, right?
The darkness wears her face.
See? Super creepy. But like, why would they write that there unless there's like something coming up that I need to pay attention to? Alright. Climb up here. Alright. What do we got? What do we got, boys? Hey, girls. One flare left. I only went with the revolver because I know it hits harder. And those are two big guys, and I wasn't about to fight two big guys without the revolver, and I didn't want to burn my last flare. So I think that was a good call right there. Hopefully. We'll see. Unless I gotta fight like 3 big guys next. Nice. Right. Checkpoint reached. What the hell's that noise?
Logging is a hazardous occupation.
And the chainsaw. Alright, we're gonna do that, but we're just gonna run from... Alright. But that being said, I probably could murder him. It's probably like an achievement to kill him or something.
Occupation.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
Are we crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
See? You don't never have to fight. Always run. There's probably like an achievement that will kill him, but yeah, it's worth it. Are we almost back? Or are we still really far away?
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I think that might be worse.
I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster, and the headlights were a welcome bonus.
Flying furs
The
at
agent's
weak.
command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it, but it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Get right back to this in a few seconds. Alright. What is that? Rifle ammo. I love how this is a restroom, but it's got 0 toilets in it.
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
Great.
You cannot learn about nature and yourself.
That has toilets, at least. Alright, let's see if we can bounce out of here. Like a pear of tree, or do like a pair of, no. Be like a tree and leave, that's what it is. If I'm ever supposed to get out of the car and collect stuff. Alright, so you technically can get out. Alright, oh, checkpoint's here. Bye-bye! Fight them on my terms. Is there something shiny over there? Yes. supposed to go like multiple times out of the car. This is where we were earlier, so we would have picked everything up. Alright, let's see. So we're missing a couple pages.
There was no misunderstanding. Cauldron Lake was where Alice and I had stayed, but there was no cabin and no island. I was missing a week. What had happened to me? What had happened to Alice? I had to get her back. I couldn't face it.
Probably let's just go back downstairs. Drive around, see if we can find anything that might be square page or anything. There's gotta be something else here besides those cans. Alright, I think we got everything. I mean, we're missing some pages, obviously. I'm pretty sure the game's about to end. Or the chapter's about to end once we get to Barry. But I just can't think of where else they would be.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Shit's about to go down. Alright, well that sucked. I think we prematurely used our flare gun there.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Die, suckers, die. Let's see if we can gather anything new. Appears to be a no. Okay.
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need... a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. Not...
I'll miss some pages, though.
Yes, I get you.
But I'll miss some pages.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
Damn, son.
I am so glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I blocked the kitchen. This isn't normal. These birds are weird.
I don't get this fight. How do you fight birds? I wonder if fire is just as effective as light.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Well, that's not good. Alice is gonna be dead then.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
I know.
See you soon.
I'm sorry, but
Have
Rose
a great
sounds...
day.
Yeah.
Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old
dear diner.
Good girl.
Told you Rose was bad. I told you Rose was evil. A boat? Is there a boat in the middle of the trailer park?
Come here. Pretty please.
Alright, that was chapter 2. We missed 3 or 4 pages, which sucks. I don't like missing stuff. So we have part of the story that's missing. End of episode 2. Alright, so that'll do it for episode 2 of Alan Wake. If you liked what you saw, click the little heart button. If not, no big deal. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Maybe do a subscribe. As always, I was NightFox15. This was Alan Wake. Episode 2. Hope to see you guys next time for episode 3. Deuces.